Erev Shabbos Kodesh Parashat Shoftim, and in this parsha we learn about how when the Jewish people come into the land of Israel, God says, Som Tasim Alecha Melech, you should appoint a king over yourself, a governmental leader, someone who is in charge of the laws. And an interesting law that goes with the king is that the king must write a Torah. He must write a Torah. He has to have his own personal Torah, and he puts that Torah next to his heart, like we would put our tefillin. And with that Torah, he goes out to battle, he goes out to meetings, he goes out to state visits. He carries this Torah wherever he goes. But then the Torah says he should write another Torah, Torah 2. And in this Mishnah Torah, the second Torah, he writes the Torah. Of course, it's an identical Torah, but he takes this one, he puts it bebeit knazav, he puts it into his treasury. So the king has to have two Torahs, one in his treasury and one next to his heart. And the question is, why does he need two Torahs? The Torah is the Torah. Why have one in your treasury if you have one with you all the time? And the answer, I believe, is simple. And that is that the king goes out to battle. He goes out to meetings. He goes out to the challenges of the nation. And his beautiful, pristine, pure Torah starts to get weather-worn, war-torn. It starts to change just a little bit. And every once in a while, the king must walk back into his treasury, put the two Torahs on the table, and say, is it still the same as when I wrote it? Has there been any changes? Has it worn away in such a small way that I may not even have realized that he must compare his two Torahs? And for us, such an important lesson, because when we start out on life in a project, in a new place, in this case, in our case, in a new year, we start off with our Torah and it's so pure and it's so pristine. Comes the Torah and tells us, besides for all of the commitments and besides for everything that you are understanding that we must live up to in the coming year, write yourself another Torah. Take all of those commitments that you've made and put them in the treasury of your heart. And every once in a while, come back, because your Torah has to, when it goes to the street, it becomes weather-worn, it becomes war-torn, it begins to chip away at the letters, and before you know it, it's not the Torah that we wrote. Go back into your treasury, put the two Torahs on the table and compare them. Am I the person that I want to be? Am I living up to my commitments? Am I going to have the type of a year that I was planning on? Shabbat Shalom Umevarach.